3 ounces, male palms typically 4. So that's going to be what's going to equate to that is 21 grams or 28 grams of protein. Okay? Weigh it, get used to what it looks like, but that's a general guideline. If you know you're doing that, you're definitely getting the amount that you need. Okay, and the final part of the food guidelines is taking the EPA, DHA, or omega-3 supplement. Because unless you're eating a lot of fish all the time, every day, it's going to be very hard for you to get a good amount of omega-3 to kind of balance that scale correctly, where you're getting a good amount of omega-3 and a good amount of omega-6. We don't have any guidelines as far as how much it has to be, but one thing I will tell you is when you're looking at it, you see fish oil on the front, you want to flip it over to the back where the label is and look and see exactly how much EPA or DHA is in there, because that's what we're looking for. You may have 1,000 milligrams of fish oil on the front, but find out that it only has 200 milligrams of EPA or DHA on the back. So you can kind of go from there to determine how much you want to go for. A good goal would be 2 grams a day. Definitely 1 is another good thing. If you can get 2, great, but there's really no restriction. If you find one and it only has 50, probably a little less expensive, may fit your budget a little better, but there's no guidelines for that. Okay? So that's food. We'll talk a little bit because we have some time in this segment. We'll start at the beverage rules. Okay, so beverage, it's worth, oh, no, let me back up. I do want to say something because it's important about combination foods. So if you have a combination food like pizza that has the bread and the dairy, or something like a milkshake that has the dairy and the added sugar, that counts as 1 cheat because it's a combination food. Okay? However, that being said, if you have a whole meal and the meal has the pizza and a brownie or something like that, where it's 2 cheat foods, separate foods, they're not together, that's 2 cheats. Okay, so 2 violations. Alright, another thing, because I did tell you I talked about eating out. Eating out is basically any situation when you don't have control over the food. Okay, so if you're eating out at a restaurant, fast food, family gatherings, potlucks, things like that, where people are bringing food and you don't exactly know what's in there. You can still make your best guess, but there's probably going to be some hidden ingredient that you're not quite sure of. Ways to get around that. Okay? Things that are allowed, there's a company called Fit Life Foods. Brian and I can give you more information about it. If those foods have ingredients that fit with the guidelines, then they're allowed. So you can go out and get foods from there. If you go to a salad bar and you're getting just the fruits and vegetables on the salad, you're not dipping into the hummus or the potato salad and things like that, just the fruits and vegetables, you can do that as well. And you could also do what I call being that guy. And if you go to a restaurant and you talk to a manager or someone that knows, and you find out without any doubt everything that's in that food. Like, okay, so you have chicken. Is there any seasoning on the chicken? Does that seasoning have sugar? Does that seasoning have any oils? Are you basting the or marinating it in any oil? What do you use on the grill? Is it vegetable oil? Is it canola oil? If you go through all that trouble and really find out, and you know without a doubt that your meal doesn't have any hidden ingredients, and you know without a doubt that you haven't gone over your 500 calories, then 1, you can get credit for it if you post that experience and the food that you had on the community website. So if you really want to go out and you have no problems being that guy, then you can eat out more. If not, you automatically lose a point of the 5 points for going out. That being said, just because you go out at a restaurant doesn't mean free for all. I lose my 5 points for going out at a restaurant, I'm good. If you knowingly, without having to ask, go outside of the limits, like go to Outback and have a blooming onion, which you know is coated in things that you shouldn't be having, then that's the 5 points for the restaurant and for the blooming